Alright, so then let's go to, now we covered a lot of anatomy so far in this in our first few lectures. Now let's talk about the very basics of physiology. So one important concept with physiology is homeostasis, and this woman right here, she's balancing. And homeostasis is all about balance and keeping your body's balance. So it's not just about like balancing in terms of gravity, but the thing is like not only about your overall body's position, it's also maintaining the internal conditions within your body. Your body is living, it's always changing, and it's always adjusting. So the thing about this is that your body is made out of cells, and your cells have to keep alive in order to keep yourself alive, because your cells make up your tissues, which make up your organs, which make up you. So you need to keep your cells alive, because if your cells die, you die. So this is why you need to make your cells happy and keep them alive. So you have optimal conditions in terms of nutrition, in terms of osmotic or like the chemical balance and concentrations around your cells, and also in terms of the oxygen, carbon dioxide, all these things you need to keep your cells alive and happy. The thing about homeostasis is not a single state. It's not in terms of like, okay, you can only be at this temperature, you can only be at this blood glucose level, you can only have this one set value. Well, there's an ideal value, but typically a normal healthy range. So the thing is that homeostasis allows your body to go past its normal or its comfortable level, but it tries to bring it back to that comfortable level. So it tries to restore balance. Even if something throws off or moves your balance of your body, or some sort of measurement in your body away from normal, your body through homeostasis will try to bring it back to keep your cells and body alive. So again, homeostasis is essential to life and essential to many physiological processes. Basically, if something changes from your normal status, you have to have a way to bring it back. Otherwise, that can lead to further harm to your body and your cells within. Okay, so how do you restore homeostasis? Well, again, remember, homeostasis is not only about having a normal state, but also bringing things back to a normal state. Example of this is get temperature. So the book likes to use this example for temperature. So negative feedback. Negative feedback is a very important overall theoretical concept in homeostasis, and we actually cover this more in depth in PHYL 142. But what is negative feedback? Well, so something's negative, something is inhibiting something. So it allows changes but keeps things in check. So with homeostasis and negative feedback, you typically have something A causing something B. But in negative feedback, that something B turns off the original something A. So it's a feedback loop because A and B are playing off each other, but along that way, A activates B, but B turns off A. And I like to use this little example. So this little cute box, what is it doing? Well, it's turning itself off. And this is why I love this example, because what happens? Well, the box likes staying closed and undisturbed. But what can you do? You can disturb it by flipping the switch. By flipping the switch, it activates all this machinery that turns itself off. So it's going back to its original closed state. Now, is this system changing? Yep, it is changing, but it's turning itself off and trying to restore itself to its original state. So homeostasis is like that. You can have changes in the system, but to maintain normal conditions in your body, any sort of disturbances in your balance in your body should be restored back to its normal and healthy state. Okay, so another example. So here's Ms. Spears, and what is she doing? This is her concert, and after a big concert, what is she doing? Or if you've seen her Instagram, then she gets all sweaty. So why do we sweat? Well, when you're doing all this movement or doing dancing on stage or any exercise, you're going to get really, really hot, right? So your body temperature is going to increase. So your bodies and your cells, they like certain temperatures, but if it gets too hot, that can be harmful to your body and cells. So how do we cool ourselves off? Well, what cools us off what do we do when we get too hot and our body core temperature gets too high? We start to sweat. So sweat, and why? Because why do we spray ourselves with water if we're also really hot? Well, the thing is that water absorbs heat. So water absorbs heat. So if she is absorbing our body temperature and our overheating that's elevated, it's going to cool us off. And yeah, so Brittany is very happy because now she's free and winning her legal battles. So yeah, she also happy. She's restoring her homeostasis in her body temperature. So this is negative feedback. So again, what happens? Her exercise caused heat, but that heat caused sweating. That sweating lowered her body temperature, so it's back to its normal homeostatic state.